It's a lot of moving parts with me and Wayne. And it's important to me that I fix that.
I met Turk. Shout out to Turk. You little you ain't here, but you. We gon' you and we won't you. You heard me?
Damn. It looks like Lil Wayne is finally done pretending everything is cool. After Birdman snapped on Turk during the Cash Money versus No Limit event, fans started watching Wayne closely, analyzing every reaction, every expression, every pause. And the truth is, his silence said everything louder than any rant ever could. This wasn't just business drama. These were people he grew up with, people he considered family from day one. The Hot Boys had come up together from absolutely nothing, building their name piece by piece, turning street survival into a global legacy. And through all the highs and lows, Wayne always stood beside Birdman like he was a father figure.
Here's where everything blew up.
Birdman. I understand our language, you feel me? But I got to say this. For me. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Y'all know y'all can't with me when y'all wanna with me. And I just wanna leave it at that, man. Like we gotta stop sending out these mixed messages to people because y'all, don't do that. You know what I'm talking about? Respectfully.
But this time, the silence didn't look loyal. It looked heavy. And honestly, it makes sense. When you look back at the lawsuits, missing checks, bad deals, quiet tension, and disrespectful moments, it starts feeling like Birdman didn't just break relationships. He fractured the entire foundation that made Cash Money legendary. He went from being the king who built the castle to the reason it may never rise again. And then came the moment everything exploded. Someone tried to calm the room saying, "Man, I understand our language, you feel me?"
But it's all love, though. We ain't doing no tripping over here. Big YNT, man. YNT. That's what's going on over here.
But I gotta say this me, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Then came the rest of the statement. Y'all know y'all can't with me when y'all going to with me. Mixed messages. Don't do that. Respectfully. Then came October 25th, 2025. Complex Con hosted Cash Money versus No Limit, and fans expected pure nostalgia. People came for classic hits, old school vibes, and love. But Birdman hijacked the moment and turned it into chaos the second he touched the mic. He suddenly shouted, "Shout out to Turk, you a little bit word. But it's all love though. We ain't doing no tripping over here. Big Y, man, you know YN. That's what's going on over here. You ain't here. We gonna F with you when we wanna F with you." The entire crowd froze like the room just hit pause. People looked around confused, shocked, then instantly grabbed their phones. Social media went wild in minutes. Old Turk interviews resurfaced, old drama clips popped up again, and fans all asked the same question. What set Birdman off this time? Later that night, Turk went live.
Besides that, you got the Wayne, Drake, Nicki, the Hot Boys. Before that, the Ross, and Cali, all them niggas come from under my umbrella. Every last one of them niggas. Ain't too many niggas ain't been up under my umbrella. If they say it or don't say it, all them niggas come from.
He wasn't yelling or raging, he was calm, but you could see the frustration behind every word. Then he dropped a line that hit like a brick. The story didn't start in the studio. It started way back in the late 80s in New Orleans' Magnolia Projects. This wasn't about music at all. The original Hot Boys weren't rappers. They were real street figures. Sterling, Donnie, Mosquito, and Terrence Gangsta Williams, Birdman's older brother. These were the men who ran the city, known everywhere, respected and feared at the same time. Their name held weight long before anyone ever pressed record on a microphone.
And
he was the Hot Boy there was one of the first ones in the city that had a little backpack with the money and all that in the city. But yeah, his best friends killed him.
But the story took a dark turn as one by one they were taken out or locked up. Then Turk said, "Give me my percentage." That line exploded because it wasn't about shade anymore. This was about money, loyalty, and promises that never got honored. And suddenly fans connected the dots. If Turk was still chasing his cut, maybe Birdman had been playing the same game with everybody. While the internet went wild, Wayne stayed silent again. And this silence hit different. It felt like he already knew how these situations end because he's lived through them before. To understand why this hurt so deep, you have to rewind. Before Cash Money was a label, before Wayne, Drake, Nicki, before the world tours, before the charts, the name Hot Boys wasn't just a rap group brand. As Birdman bragged once,
"How you, man?"
What's up, what's up?
I'm bullying. How you, good?
You already know.
Yeah, man. How little B? How Bria?
Man, Brian good, man. He graduated from college, man.
I know, man.
He got his own little spot, you heard me?
Man, what, man?
Real graduate next year, bro. You hear me? You know
Man.
y'all.
Besides that, you got the Wayne, Drake, Nicki, the Hot Boys. Before that, the Ross and Cali. All them come from under my umbrella. Every last one of them. Ain't too many ain't been up under my umbrella. If they say it or don't say it, all them come from me. But long before the fame, the Hot Boys were real people in the streets. In the late 80s Magnolia Projects, that name meant something serious. Sterling, Donnie, Mosquito, and Terrence Gangsta Williams were running the city for real. They were untouchable. Their reputation existed long before music became part of the story. But things fell apart in tragedy.
Let's say I gave Wayne about $400 to $500 million. Drake got about $500 million, and Nicki got about $300-400 million out my pocket. No cap.
One by one, they were killed or locked away. Only Gangsta Williams lived long enough to watch Birdman take that same street name and flip it into a music empire. So when Birdman named his new rap group the Hot Boys, it wasn't random. It was a business move backed by a name that already carried fear and respect in New Orleans. One person even said he was one of the Hot Boys. First ones in the city with a little backpack with the money. But yeah, his best friends killed him. That showed how raw the story really was. Birdman took a name loaded with history and turned it into a branding tool. And it worked, but it created a connection between music and the streets that still haunts the legacy today. By the mid-1990s, Birdman and Slim had officially turned Cash Money into a label. And to build it up, they needed artists who carried that same raw New Orleans spirit the original Hot Boys had.
Well, the Hot Boys, the actual street crew.
Okay.
What year did that come together?
1994, we all started hanging together, but we knew each other from, like, me and Mosquito. We kind of grew up together.
And the Hot Boys was you, Dooney, Sterling, and Mosquito.
Well, it was more than that, but everybody, like, started going to jail, started hanging out.
That's when the new squad stepped in. Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, and BG. They were young, hungry, and carried the authentic New Orleans vibe that nobody could fake. Birdman saw pure opportunity. He pushed them like they were already stars before they ever hit a chart. Soon the Hot Boys were everywhere. Magazines, videos, mixtapes, tour buses, flashy chains, custom cars, that ride for baby loyalty that felt unbreakable. And it worked. Albums like Get It How You Live and Guerrilla Warfare exploded across the country, turning them into national stars almost overnight. But behind that success was one dangerous detail. Every single contract, royalty, publishing check, and business move flowed directly through Birdman. And that's where the real trouble began. Birdman owned the dream, and everybody else was just living inside it. In the beginning, nobody questioned anything because Birdman played the role of the big homie, the father figure who made sure the crew ate and shined. He was the one dapping people up like, "How you, man? What's up? I'm bullying. You good? You already know." He brags proudly about his people, talking about family graduating college and getting their own places. On the outside, it looked like a kingdom built on love. But once the real money started coming in and those numbers stopped matching the work they put in, the cracks showed fast. Juvenile was the first to walk off, saying the money wasn't adding up. BG followed right behind, calling Birdman a straight-up crook on multiple occasions. Then Turk got locked up, and when he finally came home, the reality hit even harder. The money he assumed was waiting for him was gone. Absolutely gone. Through all this chaos, Wayne stayed loyal. He defended Birdman in interviews, calling him Pops, refusing to throw any shade. But deep down, he started realizing something wasn't right either. Then came Birdman saying one of his most unbelievable claims. "I can honestly say I gave Wayne about $400 to $500 million. Drake got about $500 million. And Nick got about $300-400 million out my pocket. No cap." People heard that and immediately raised eyebrows. Birdman wasn't just the boss. He was the gatekeeper. The moment you questioned him, your whole career slowed down. Wayne may have been the youngest, but he wasn't clueless. He saw what happened to everybody else and quietly started planning his own escape, one that would shake hip-hop to the ground. By 2015, Wayne had enough. He filed a massive $51 million lawsuit against Birdman and Cash Money Records. In those court papers, Wayne claimed he was owed an $8 million advance plus another $2 million once the Carter 5 was completed. On top of that, Birdman allegedly held back profits from Wayne's own label, Young Money. Basically, Birdman pocketed the cash while Wayne kept the empire alive. Birdman denied everything, saying he never held Wayne's music hostage, but fans didn't believe a single word. Meanwhile, the truth behind the Hot Boys' origins came back to the surface. Old street history interviews resurfaced, with someone explaining, the Hot Boys, the actual street crew, 194, we all started hanging together. The Hot Boys was you, Donnie, Sterling, and Mosquito. But life happened. People got locked up, spread out, and the street era changed fast. Behind the scenes, Wayne was furious. The Carter 5 became the biggest hostage album in hip-hop, delayed for years because of business drama fans could see from a mile away. In 2018, Wayne and Birdman reached a private settlement rumored to be over $10 million. But later, Birdman went on camera bragging he gave Wayne $400 to $500 million, and nobody believed him. They hugged on stage later, but fans weren't fooled. That piece looked good for the cameras, but the tension didn't go anywhere. Everybody knew that truce was surface level at best. To keep things fair, Birdman always tried to defend himself publicly. He claimed everybody got paid and people simply didn't understand how the business works. He even said he gave Wayne hundreds of millions through universal distribution. But every time he talked numbers, the math changed and never matched real receipts. Not once. What made it worse was how Birdman kept flexing like nothing ever happened. Private jets, luxury cars, diamond watches, while some former artists were still trying to rebuild their lives or still waiting for checks they earned years ago. That's what stings the most. Birdman built an empire off loyalty and family, but when the money got loud, that family faded quick. Then in 2022, everything twisted again. Birdman's older brother, Terrence "Gangsta" Williams, the original Hot Boy, came home after serving over 23 years. His release shook the city and the industry. Even Birdman looked blindsided. Gangsta started doing interviews, talking about the real Hot Boys, telling the raw street stories, and exposing how Cash Money truly began. He basically confirmed what fans had suspected for years. Birdman used the original Hot Boys name, their street weight, and parts of their legacy to build Cash Money, but didn't give them the full credit they deserved. When people asked Birdman how he felt about his brother's release, he acted like Gangsta didn't exist at all. That silence hit harder than any diss. It showed one thing clear as day. Loyalty in Birdman's world only works one way. Now, almost 3 decades later, the Hot Boys' legacy is still hanging by a thread. BG is finally home after all those years locked up. Juvenile is rocking shows on his own. Turk has been speaking his truth, calling out both Birdman and Wayne in interviews. Wayne, he's too successful, too private, and probably too exhausted to look back. Fans keep dreaming about a reunion, but the truth is simple. Those wounds run deep. Birdman may have built the brand, but he also broke the bond holding everybody together. The Hot Boys weren't just a rap group, they were a brotherhood built on struggle, loyalty, survival, and shared dreams. But once money, ego, and pride stepped in, everything that made them special started breaking apart. And now with Birdman back online throwing shots, talking reckless, and flexing like the past never existed, it's clear this story is far from over. Every time Wayne stays silent, every time Turk speaks out, and every time Birdman shows off, fans get reminded of what was lost, a family that never got real closure. So now the big question hits. If Birdman still owes millions, what else does he owe that money can't fix? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you want more deep dives like this.